Hey everybody, this is Marquisdan. Today I'm going to be playing Wizards Warriors 3. I played this at Complete-a-thon, it was a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing the All Guilds Glitchless route. So I'm just going to start it off here. I'll give you a countdown for the timer, and then the screen's going to go dark, and as soon as you see the city come up, that's when the timer starts. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is a very late NES, early 90s Metroidvania. It's designed by Zippo Games, which was a subsidiary of Rare, which later became Rare Manchester. As a Metroidvania, we can kind of go wherever we want, but the problem is we're going to quickly run into certain obstacles or barriers we can't get through, just like any Metroidvania. So we're going to want to get our tools. And tools and abilities in this game all come from these costumes we get. And the costumes come from guilds. There's 3 types of guilds: Thief Guild, Wizard Guild, and a Knight Guild. Since we're doing the Glitchless route, we're going to be joining all of the guilds. There's 9 in total, 3 levels of each type. And each guild requires a little statue to get, which you saw me get earlier. And then they go into a kind of auto-scroller. Or sorry, the Thief Guilds go into auto-scrollers, the other ones are different. You go into a little guild trial, and then there's a boss to defeat at the end. For this first boss, what we're going to do is we're going to set up an AI manipulation. And if I'm on the right pixels, which is pretty generous for this boss, we'll be making the boss dodge back indefinitely. And then we will hopefully not take any damage. Oops, I was actually a little bit off, so we'll do the backup here. We'll do the backup again. Alright, we're doing the backup. This is the double backup, where we do what I call the rhythm strat, where I kind of stab in between his attacks. So, not an ideal start, but in reality, it only costs us about 5 or 6 seconds, even with the bad fight, so not too worried about it. So now we've got the Thief Guild costume. This is going to let us sneak by an enemy, but we need to get just a little bit more cash so we can buy some keys. Alright, so that'll give us 12 keys, which is all we need for the rest of the game. And we're going to sneak down into the dungeons here. Here we have the bouncer boss, and that incentive was met. We're going to be fighting that guy later. He's a bonus boss. You don't really need to beat him to beat the game. So thank you very much for donating towards that incentive. And there's our our bronze wizard statue. And the first level wizard guild is just right here. Fortunately, I did not get chat popped open before the start of the run there, so unfortunately I am missing chat right now, but I hope everybody's having a good time. I'll try to open it up if I think there's a little lull in the game, I'll be able to do it in. But for now, unfortunately, I'm not getting your messages. So if anybody says anything funny, just let me know in Discord, because I've got that open. Alright, so here's our first wizard guild, just jumping on onions. The boss is just, you stand in this spot, and the boss cannot reach you, but you can reach him. So then you just stab. Alright, so let's just give us a few seconds. Alright, Twitch. Didn't quite get the chat open. I'm like gonna speedrun opening chat. It'll be fun. Okay. So, the big overall strategy, and this is quite a long game, the estimate's 35 minutes, is to really min-max like how often you're in the Thief costume. The Thief costume is the fastest one. The other ones can maybe jump a little higher, but this one runs the fastest. But there are certain sections of the game where you actually... Oops, missed this guy. You don't want to change costumes, because anytime you change costumes, you have to change back again, and you got to just kind of do the math on, am I going to run fast enough to make up time? So, you know, it's all kind of optimized that way. Here's our first silver statue. All of the silver statues are guarded by a mini boss, and it's the same with the gold statues, but all of the bronze statues are kind of out in the open. So we're going to jump up here. Now I'm going to use the some visual cues here to line up my character and shoot this beehive. The visual cue here, well, I was too far to the left. The idea is that you don't want to run before you jump there. I was just a little too far to the left. So now we're climbing up to the castle. And this is where our last level 1 guild resides. It is the first Knight Guild. So the Thief Guilds are all auto-scrollers. The Knight Guilds are all RNG platformers. And the Wizard Guilds are all like vertically scrolling platformers. So you'll see what I'm talking about with the RNG here in just a second. We gotta just run across this room. While I'm doing this, I gotta mention we do have another incentive for this game. There's a bid war for the good or bad ending, and you have probably about half an hour, 25 minutes to get those donations in if you want. So the RNG comes from those boulders I just dodged. Like, they can spawn directly on top of you and you just kind of lose time. It gets much worse in the later Knight Guilds. So this guy, we overlap our sword with his sword, and that makes him just look like he's standing still. But as his health gets lower, his whole pattern accelerates, and then you have to take one hit. Alright, so that's all our first level guilds down. We're going to run up and grab our Silver Knight statue now.
Hey, I'm probably like talking in the middle of you. I'm just gonna say that Discord is your Discord is not working anymore, but it's fine. I heard that you wanted to talk about donations, but I can't hear you through Discord. The only thing I can hear is through your own stream, which is like 7 seconds off or something. So apologies for that.
Okay.
But if there's any donations, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks very much. All right, so this guy, we're just going to whoops. The idea is not to let him land on you. But anyway, you just gotta juggle him around and make him die by that door. We lost a little bit of time because I was a couple pixels too far forward. But if you can kill that guy fast enough, he doesn't even get to talk, and it saves quite a bit of time. So now we're going to go for a jump. A little tricky. You have about 1 pixel of space here, maybe 2. Right there. You can buffer the jump, but you have to lay it on just the right pixel to make that. It's not quite as hard as it sounds because you can line it up pretty consistently without too much effort, but it's always scary. Because you can lose like a minute if you fail that jump. So here's our second level Thief Guild. It has a maze of doors. You just gotta have to memorize which door goes to which space. There's a kind of funny thing here where if you go to the spikes, they don't actually kill you until you go all the way to the bottom. Here we go. And we're through the maze. Alright, so we're counting notches of the floor. We want the 7th notch. And if I can stand there just right, I can make the boss dodge up to 3 times. So you see I kind of messed it up on that 3rd hit there. So that gave the boss an extra half a cycle. So you see I kind of messed it up on that 3rd hit there. Try to get this chat up, but audio couldn't win, so I'm just gonna cancel it. Fortunately, no chat this time. But I trust you all saying good things about me. Alright, so now we're gonna hop on down to the Silver Wizard Guild. And that is down in the caves. All the Wizard Guilds are down here. But since it's a silver Wizard Guild, we need a silver statue, and since it's a silver statue, we have a boss to fight. This is one of the bosses I enjoy fighting the most in the game, all these little worms. Let's see why when they come out here. Alright, so we're going to switch to our Wizard 1 costume, and that gives us a ranged attack. And we just kind of have to watch where this guy's going. It's not so bad at the beginning of the fight, but as his health gets lower, he starts moving more quickly. So we really have to lead the worm. That was a pretty good fight. That was actually a gold split for me too. So we saved 10 seconds there. There's a really fun glitch in this room where you can go through the wall and kind of go to the Wizard Guild a little faster. But since we're doing glitchless, we're going to use that secret door instead. So here is the second level Wizard Guild. Got to switch to the right costume now that we're at level 2 guilds, or they won't let you in. If I went in as the thief, he'd kick me out. So for those of you counting at home, we have we have just 2 keys left in our inventory, which means we need to get the level 3 Thief Guild as soon as possible. Level 3 Thief Guild lets us run the fastest, and it also lets us open any door in the game. So if we've done our planning right, we won't have to buy any more keys. The second level Wizard Guild is just the same as the first one, except it's got that little monster. Everything else is the same. Alright, so once you get to silver bosses, there's a weird thing where the bosses don't have iframes anymore, so you can really knock them down pretty fast. If they do have iframes, they're very short. But you can only attack so fast because you have to mash on the D-pad, and that's kind of tough. The way attacking in this game works is you hold down B to kind of activate attack mode, and then you attack different directions. It's a really cool kind of like involved fighting style, but they didn't really implement much to do with it. Alright, so we use that secret door to climb all the way to the top of the caves as fast as we can. Sneak by this guy again. And now we're going to go fight a boss with this crowbar that I'm wielding, because I have to go through a window, and the windows can only be opened by the crowbar, and I cannot change costumes in here. The thing is, the crowbar's hitbox is only a couple of pixels wide, but fortunately for us, this guy's hitbox is bugged as well, where it extends out way to the left of his body. So we're actually, I think, inside of the hitbox when we attack. And so we can just stand to the left of him and knock him around. But it ends up looking like we're just kind of attacking the air. So there is a hard jump after this guild. That relies on a subpixel to be set. But I am going to skip it because the current world record in this game tries for that jump and misses it a bunch. So I can actually catch up a little time here. I'm about 12 seconds behind world record pace right now. There is a sort of non-zero chance that we hit world record in this run, which could be fun. And I gotta preface this a little bit. It's not a common category. There's only 2 people who play it, myself and a guy named Jackie B. So I currently have first place, but if anyone else is interested in playing this, it's a pretty fun game to pick up. The music's jamming, and you can get a free 3rd place spot just by beating the game. Alright, so for this boss, we're going to try to abuse iframes. I've messed it up a little bit. There we go. This takes a lot of concentration, so I'm not going to talk a lot. But the idea is that I manipulate how far the boss hits me. Like I will go a shorter or further distance back, depending on what buttons I'm holding down when I get hit. Alright, so we are now 3.5 seconds ahead of world record pace, which means if I don't mess up for the rest of the game, which is a tall ask, big ask, tall order, I will maybe improve the record. So here is our level 3 thief guild. So last one. This one technically has a door maze, but the solution to the door maze, if you forget it, is just take every single door that you see and you will win. So it's not really a maze. The other thing that it kind of adds in here are these flying daggers and arrows. And those always come in the exact same pattern, so you can just memorize them. I'm going to go for the early dodge back on this boss. It's kind of hard to do. We got 1. We can technically get 2, but if I get 1, I'm pretty happy. This is going pretty well. I could have got a couple more hits in there, but I'm playing it very safe. It's really easy to get greedy on these thief bosses. So now we're going to head down to the hardest part of the game, which is the Wizard 3 guild. We've got to pick the statue up first, which is just another worm fight, but the Wizard 3 guild is like kind of make or break time. So you'll see when I get there what I'm talking about. It's the same guild as I did before for the other wizard trials, except that the platforms are half the size and they're a little bit buggy. That was perfect. That's a tough jump to do. Alright, I might have changed too late. Nope, we got it. So this boss pretty much always shoots 1 time at you, sometimes he'll shoot twice. You have to be ready to block that first shot. If you change your costume a little late, you can't block it and you always get hit. Alright, this is a really good phase 1. He's going to go into phase 2, which is another worm coming out. They're fixed patterns, so you just memorize them. The thing is that your second worm can kind of come out in 2 different parts of his pattern, so you have to be ready for that. But I think it's just 2 different spawns, the top left or bottom right. So we got the top left one, which is my current favorite one to get. Although this particular part of the that particular part of the fight did not go well. And I forgot to change costumes before I went in there. Alright. So here we go. On to Wizard 3. We just are going to use a series of secret doors along the bottom of the caves to get over there. The caves are structured in sort of like 3 columns. And if you don't use the secret doors, the only way to get from column to column is to go all the way to the top and then go across and come down. So here we go. These are the small onions I was talking about. So these are going to be... There we go. Exactly what I was talking about. You know what? I'm actually a little, low-key glad that happened. Because I don't want to be on world record pace, because I forgot I signed up for an incentive for this run, and that's going to add a minute anyway. So that would be kind of, a little bit bittersweet to do that, because it's good to raise some money for charity. I'm really glad that incentive got met. but I wouldn't want to lose the record to it. So now we can just kind of concentrate on playing and having fun. Alright, so I am probably just going to stop talking actually, because I'm splitting my focus, and this is the hardest part of the game, so just about 30 more seconds of climbing. Here we go. This is the hardest jump. Got it, first try. That jump. Let me tell you stories about that jump. When I was learning that jump, I was also pushing for affiliate, and people would host me to help me get affiliate, and it was really nice of them. But I would fall down for 20 minutes at a time on that jump, just with like 70 people watching me. It was super embarrassing. Alright, so now we got the hardest part of the game done. And we are going to go... we have to go to the Night 3 guild, which is our last remaining guild. We've got 8 done. The thing is that guild is all the way at the very top of the map, and we're currently on the very bottom of the map. So what does that mean? That means we have to take secret doors to help us get up as fast as we can. This game, along with all Wizards and Warriors games, is kind of a it's all vertical platforming, like more than most games you'd see on the NES. The bad news is that really fast things like the Thief don't help you as much as you would think, because you spend so much time jumping. Alright, so here we go. On to the Gold Knight statue. And after this boss, we're going to have a really good time for donations if we have any. But we got to beat this guy first. So he's going to drop down here. The trick is to get as close to him as you can, so you can hit him more quickly, but you don't want to touch his axe. And then you also don't want to stop hitting him, because if you stop hitting him, then he talks, and that wastes time. Okay, yep. So now we just have to levitate basically to the top of the castle. It's going to take a little bit of time, not going to be super interesting, so this is the perfect time in the run for donations, or any kind of announcements if we have any. Alright, but if we don't have any, we will just keep on trucking. Oops. Oh, I am playing Glitchless, so I do need to actually watch my health, because we may end up fighting the boss at the end. So I'm doing okay now. So I'm levitating up. I'm keeping an eye on the tower on the right side of the screen. The idea is that if you go all the way out here to the left, there's no birds that will spawn. If you're in the middle of the tower, there's 2 birds that can spawn, and they move much more quickly than you, and they're very hard to dodge. And they will just knock you right out of the sky. Alright, we got up here without incident. This is our last guild. We get that jam and night music again. This is the most RNG heavy portion of the run, so if we can get some bless RNGs in chat, I would appreciate that a lot. Alright, so here we go. The RNG is going to start on our next jumps. If I can, there's... Alright, we kind of want... Ah, that was not good. Okay, hit me. Thank you. That was good. We had to wait 2 cycles there. So there's 2 strategies, right? 2 schools of thought. You can try to jump across as fast as you can and just hope you don't get hit. The safer way is to get hit by a boulder, and then you can use iframes to get across. So for this boss, we're doing the same like knockback manipulation with a twist. When the boss comes forward, we're going to overlap hitboxes, and that makes the boss reset and go all the way to the right and go into his rest state, and then we can get a few hits in. So that was a pretty smooth fight, actually. all the night bosses look like you're losing because you're getting hit so much, but the only time to damage them is when you have iframes on. Alternatively, you have to wait forever for them to just finish their cycle. Alright, so now we're going to get the thief. We're going to go for a really long jump, cross the entire palace in 2 leaps there. And this is our second princess. I realize I forgot to mention what princesses do. The whole object of the game here is I'm trying to collect 4 of these gems. And the gems are the key to the last boss's room. So I need 4 in total. 3 of them I get from rescuing princesses, and 1 I get from defeating a dragon. But the next thing we're going to do, normally I'd be going on to our next princess, but the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take just a small detour, and we're going to fight our bonus incentive boss. And I want to say thank you again for donating to that. This is a really great cause. I really like that we're donating to kind of a local animal shelter, which you don't see a lot in marathons. Usually go to kind of big name charities. It's really cool to see something local. So this is our bonus boss. We cheese him out by going in the corner. He can't hit us there. And we just kind of juggle him around, and there he goes. He's not necessary for beating the game in any way. You usually just sneak past him, and you cannot hurt him until you have that last costume. Actually did not need to buy anything, so I just kind of exited the menu. I'm used to taking a lot more damage in the bouncer boss, to the point where just I reflexively went up there to purchase health, but I didn't need it. I'm only down 4. You get health back as you do the climb to the last boss, so we're just going to pick up health there instead. Alright, did you want to chime in, Georgie? I thought I heard you. Alright. So here's our last princess. I'm using a trick to kind of advance the dialogue quickly, but those of you who are speed reading, you probably caught that I'm agreeing to marry all of those princesses. So each of them will give me the crown jewel if I agree to marry them after I rescue them. They do not say no, or do not let me say no. They kind of force me into engagements. But I'm gonna escape that at the end of the game if we get the good ending. So, just speaking of that, do we have anything on the bid war right now?
Nothing is. I'm probably talking over you right now. Sorry. Again, I just want to say for everyone, I can't hear Marcus through Discord. I have like a 5-second delay due to I don't know what happened to Discord. But as far as I see right now, we don't have anything on the bid war. But as Marcus has already said, the fight bonus incentive was gracefully met. So thank you for that, everyone.
Yep. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think the reason you can't hear me is I'm not doing my push to talk on Discord because I just have that set on a key. So you probably can't hear me on Discord because of that. So it's on my end. He didn't break anything. So here we are. We're fighting the dragon. The dragon's not too tough. You just have to block his shots. And you don't want to get knocked off. I was going to say, about to say, the only danger is that he will occasionally knock you off. You use your sword to block the shots to keep him from hitting you because they just kind of knock you around. The bad news with that is that every time you swing your sword at all, you shoot one of these projectiles. And since we're on the NES and we have hard sprite limits, those of you who play Mega Man will be familiar with this. You can only have a few bullets out there at once. So I have to kind of like juggle constantly between blocking and shooting. Like if I block too much, then I won't have anything available to shoot the boss. And then again, every once in a while, the RNG just kind of conspires against you like it did on that last attempt, and he comes from below you and turns you around and just throws you off the blocks. And there's not a lot you can do about that. This is my favorite game to speedrun, but this dragon, is kind of a source of headaches. Because you can have an amazing run and get to the dragon, and you just lose. You just lose minutes at a time from getting knocked off of this thing. I am going to stick on the bottom platform here. It's considerably safer, but it's also considerably slower. But since I fell off twice already, and we're in a marathon, we're just gonna want to get this guy beat. So we'll just take a few extra cycles of boss animation, but we're gonna know we'll win. There we go. There he goes. And this is our last gem. Alright, so since we don't have anything on the bid war, we're going to go ahead and default to fighting the boss. If anybody wants to get the bad ending animation, which is kind of a hilarious and frankly when I was a kid it was kind of like nightmare inducing animation because the guy is pretty scary. You just need to donate like $1 and we'll get the bad ending. Otherwise we are going to go fight him. So here we are in the climb. The climb has no combat. It is just kind of tense music, but no real rush, other than the speedrunning clock, of course. Everything here is just trying to, like, it's kind of ridiculous, right? Because you're going vertically, but jump as little as you can. Because jumping is 75% of the speed of walking. So we're going to try to take as short of jumps as we can, and then additionally we want to levitate as little as possible, because levitating is incredibly slow in terms of like movement speed. But there's some areas where you just have to, because you can't jump that high. And we'll be sticking in the wizard costume for this, because the wizard has the highest jumps, and it's very expensive in terms of frames. To switch back and forth between the wizard and the thief. So there's we're halfway through this screen. So the way this climb is set up, you have 2 screens of caves, 2 screens of town, and 2 screens of palace. So we just got done with the town, and now we're in the palace. And we're just going to do a series of short jumps here. If we do end up getting any donations for the bid war, just feel free to interrupt me and talk over me. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep rolling. Okay, so here is the last section, the little tower. I'm going for something called the alcove trick, where I can kind of do jumps and levitate at a zigzag. And this actually saves a ton of time because levitating is so slow compared to jumping. The alternative is just to levitate straight up that room. So here is where the bid war would have come in, where the last boss, Malkill, we call him the Burger King, asks us if we want to join him. If we choose yes, he betrays us immediately, we get captured and we get the bad ending. We're going to choose no, and we're going to do what is a kind of a tough fight. It's not the hardest boss on the NES by any stretch, but he is pretty tough. The thing is that those are very hard to dodge as the knight. I think the intended mechanic here is to switch to the thief and dodge them and then switch back and attack, but we're speedrunning, we don't have time for that, so we're gonna try to dodge as the knight. There is I'm not getting my timing perfectly here, but there's also a few different patterns of shots he can do with each pass. So at this point I think I am just gonna take the hits, because he's going to switch to a different phase soon. So I will, instead of wasting time moving, I'm just going to take hits, and, oh, actually, I took way too many hits. Alright, this is Danger Zone, people. We'll do it. Let's see if we can do it. I cannot get hit anymore. Ah, oh no. Alright, let's do that again. That has not happened in a long time. Okay. So what this is telling me is I need to practice this fight more. I used to play this game a lot, and then I kind of took a holiday break for like 2 months of playing this game. And I completely forgot how to do this boss fight, apparently. There we go. That's what we want to do. Just dodge. Went a little too far there. There's some visual cues you can use in the background. You go with him, and then you turn around, and then you turn back. It's that last fireball he shoots that sometimes can go right into you, though, and the short walk doesn't work. Just like that. But we got such a good early volley that I think we'll get him this time. The other slightly safer strat is just to stay in a corner. But you can only hit him about half the time when you do that. And the other bad news is that this guy does have really long iframes. Come on, stay on the screen. It gets kind of tough to beat him if he doesn't stay on the screen. Cheese strats from the boss here. Alright, so yeah, like I said, he has long iframes, so you can't just like sit under him and cheese him down. There we go, that's time. 35:43 is what I've got on my timer. I don't know what the stream's got. If you have epilepsy or sensitive to lights, probably look away. I should have given that warning earlier. We're going to get full screen, bright flashing lights here. But that's Wizard Warriors 3. What's happening here is we're jumping into a time portal to go to the future to follow the evil wizard Malkill. The next game is going to be called Laser Sword. The people who made this, their company went out of business and got absorbed into Rare, and the rights to this game went to another company, and so no more games are coming. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Thanks for GG's, and I want to shout out the Wizard Warriors community real fast. Dacicus and Jackie especially, and Limit Break, and Johnny C. They're all great people. If you ever are interested in running this, just feel free to hit us up on the SRC forums. Otherwise, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you all have a great night.
Alright, everyone. That was an awesome run by Marquisdan, but coming up we have Momo. I cannot pronounce that name. I've already messed that up and set up. Momonga Pinball Adventure by Steve TV Online. Any percent. While we're setting that up, I just want to quickly let everyone know that we are raising money for Go Rescue, which is a no-kill dog shelter in Norfolk, VA. So if you'd like to, save the dog or save the animals in real life, then you can use the short link that's displayed on stream, or type !donate in the chat. Either of the two works. And you can also contribute to the many incentives this microphone still has. We're still, we still got like 2-3 days left, but we still got incentives left. For example, we have the Trials exhibition. I believe that one, so let me double check. Yeah, that one, for example, is not met already, for Dust an Elysian Tale by Rumors PPO. It's coming up later tonight. So if you've got a couple dollars to spare to meet that incentive, then that would be awesome, and that money goes to a very good cause. And just a reminder, all your donations go directly to Go Rescue via Tiltify. Basically, how it works is that when you use PayPal or whatever, or anything else to donate via Tiltify, all of your money goes straight to the charity, and Tiltify essentially gets a notification about that, and then it sends a notification over to us. We don't see that money, we just get the info that somebody has donated. So don't worry, your money is going straight there, and just enjoy the rest of the marathon, and we'll be bringing you a Momonga Pinball Adventure very soon.